Welcome to Icons in Ink. Today, we honor the memories that stay with us by looking at the most recent legacies added to the national record in the month of June. Oliver Tree. The world of music has lost one of its most inventive and original young voices. Oliver Tree was a singer, songwriter, and performance artist, known as much for his boundless creativity as for his signature bowl cut and vibrant style. He broke through with tracks like Alien Boy, Life Goes On, and Miss You, building a devoted global following and earning a Brit Award nomination. At the time of his passing, he was in the midst of his most ambitious project yet, a world tour spanning all 7 continents. Oliver Tree passed away on June 14, 2026, at the age of 32. The cause was reported as a mid-air helicopter collision in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which claimed 6 lives. An official investigation is ongoing. Oliver Tree leaves a permanent mark on history as a true original, endlessly inventive, devoted to his craft, and remembered by those who knew him for the joy and laughter he so easily sparked. Daveigh Chase. The world of film and television has lost a memorable talent of her generation. Daveigh Chase was a former child actress whose voice and presence shaped some of the most recognizable titles of the early 2000s. She voiced the heroic young Lilo in Disney's beloved Lilo and Stitch, voiced Chihiro in the English dub of Spirited Away, and at just 12 became the haunting face of horror as Samara Morgan in The Ring, a role that earned her an MTV Movie Award for Best Villain. She later had a recurring role on HBO's A Big Love. Daveigh Chase passed away on June 16, 2026, at the age of 35. The cause was reported as complications from meningitis and a blood infection. Daveigh Chase leaves a permanent mark on history as the voice of a Disney favorite and the face of one of horror's most indelible characters, a performer whose early work continues to reach new audiences. Peabo Bryson. The world of music has lost one of its most romantic and recognizable voices. Peabo Bryson was a 2-time Grammy-winning R&B singer whose smooth, soaring vocals defined the love song for a generation. A South Carolina native who built his career out of Atlanta, he scored enduring hits with Tonight, I Celebrate My Love, and Never If Ever You're in My Arms Again. But he reached his widest audience through Disney, singing the Oscar-winning themes to both Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion and Aladdin's A Whole New World with Regina Belle. Peabo Bryson passed away on June 2, 2026, in Marietta, Georgia, at the age of 75. The cause was reported as complications from a stroke. Peabo Bryson leaves a permanent mark on history as the voice behind some of the most beloved ballads in modern film and radio. A singer whose work, in his family's words, served as the soundtrack to some of life's most cherished moments. Clive Davis. The world of music has lost one of its true architects. Known as the man with the golden ears, Clive Davis spent more than 6 decades discovering and shaping talent, first as president of Columbia Records, then as founder of Arista Records, and later J Records. He signed and championed an extraordinary range of artists, including Janis Joplin, Bruce Springsteen, and Alicia Keys. His most storied discovery was a young Whitney Houston, whom he guided to one of the best-selling careers in music history. A 4-time Grammy winner, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000. Clive Davis passed away on June 22, 2026, at his home in New York City at the age of 94. He had been hospitalized for a respiratory issue earlier in the year. Clive Davis leaves a permanent mark on history as the executive who shaped the sound of popular music for generations, a kingmaker whose ear for talent changed the industry forever. Anthony Head. The world of television and theater has lost a performer of rare warmth and range. The English actor Anthony Head first became a household name in the United Kingdom, then found international fame as Rupert Giles, the steadfast mentor at the heart of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. A classically trained stage performer who began in musical theater, he brought the same craft to a long and varied screen career, playing Uther Pendragon in Merlin, the Prime Minister in Little Britain, and Rupert Mannion in Ted Lasso. He was also a singer, known for his distinctive baritone voice. Anthony Head passed away on June 1, 2026, at the age of 72, surrounded by his family. The cause was reported as complications due to pneumonia. Anthony Head leaves a permanent mark on history as the actor a generation thought of as a guide and a father figure on screen. As a Ted Lasso colleague remembered him, he could play the worst person in the world precisely because, off camera, he was one of the best. Shalit. The world of television and film criticism has lost one of its most beloved and instantly recognizable figures. For nearly 4 decades, Shalit was the resident film and book critic of NBC's Today Show, reaching millions of Americans every morning from his Critic's Corner. Famous for his handlebar mustache, bushy hair, bow ties, and irrepressible love of puns, he made arts criticism warm, witty, and accessible at a time when newspapers still ruled the field. He reviewed thousands of films and interviewed many of the biggest names in entertainment, becoming such a part of the culture that he was affectionately parodied on Saturday Night Live. Shalit passed away on June 12, 2026, at the age of 100. He died peacefully, his family said, after, in their words, 100 years of an amazing life. Shalit leaves a permanent mark on history as the critic who helped shift how Americans decided what to watch, proving that sharp judgment and genuine delight could share the same screen. David Clayton-Thomas. The world of music has lost one of the great voices of the brass rock era. David Clayton-Thomas was the powerhouse lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, whose husky, muscular tenor powered one of the most remarkable runs in late 1960s rock. He sang and rode his way onto the charts with Spinning Wheel and When I Die and You've Made Me So Very Happy, 3 singles that each reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1969. The band's self-titled album won the Grammy for Album of the Year, famously besting the Beatles' Abbey Road. David Clayton-Thomas passed away on June 24, 2026, at a hospital in Toronto at the age of 84. A cause of death was not publicly disclosed. David Clayton-Thomas leaves a permanent mark on history as the unmistakable voice of a genre-blurring era, a self-described blues singer who rose from a hard, early life to a Grammy stage. As a reminder, when a cause of death has not been officially confirmed by the family or authorities, we do not report on rumors. Every family has a right to their privacy. Leave your own condolences and memories in the comments below to help their stories live on. Subscribe to Icons in Ink to stay up to date on national news deaths and to pay tribute to those who shaped our world.